Alright, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but I just woke up to crank the heater on and feed the kitties and start my day. It's still dark, but it's snowing. So exciting. Look, there's some accumulated on the van. I looked out and I saw some on the van, and there's even some on the ground, and it's snowing pretty good right now. I hope you can see it. Well, we were dreaming of a white Christmas. It looks like we're gonna get it.
First, let's talk about where we are. We're on the Alsace wine route, which skirts along the eastern border of France, right alongside Germany. The Alsace region has changed hands many times throughout history, and has evolved into an amazing fusion of history, culture, architecture, food, and wine. This route that we are on is internationally known as the wine route, but to many Europeans, it's also quite popular as a route of Christmas villages. This small town, in the Middle Ages, was a seat of the lords of Ribeauville, hence the town being named Ribeauville, and I am sure I am saying those names horribly wrong. Now today, this area is nestled between some of the most famed vineyards of France and these mountains you see right here behind us that are covered with forests. I believe they're called the Vosges Mountains, Vosges, but I know I'm saying that wrong too. These French words and accents are really kicking my butt. But back during the time of the lords, there were 3 fortified castles built on the mountainsides to defend the territory, and we can see one of them right up there. There are hiking trails up to those castles, but there's way too much mud, snow, and ice for me to be trying to hike up a mountain right now. Maybe if we come back when the weather's better. Now this town also hosts a Fiddler's Festival each year, and that is to celebrate the meeting of the Brotherhood of Fiddlers, who started gathering here way back in 1481 in order to elect their king. This festival is the oldest festival in all of the Alsace region, and it's celebrated back in August or September. I can't quite remember. But the spillover effect from all of this rich history is an authentic and an immersive medieval Christmas market, a tradition which only happens on Saturday and Sunday for 2 weekends in December. And spoiler alert, guys, tomorrow is Saturday and just happens to be one of those weekends. And we are here to show you how this town transforms into a medieval village. So you guys need to get prepared for a Christmas market like you would have never imagined. But one more bit of interesting history about this area. From more modern times, back during World War II, American troops actually helped to liberate this region from the Germans. So just a little interesting tidbit that ties it back to home just a little bit.
I love when you see little pieces like this, because they're telling of the wildlife and the nature around. So you can see the birds, the squirrels, that looks like a badger, I'm guessing, and the deer. And I've seen some of these birds, but that's awesome. And I gotta tell you, this city is just like out of a fairy tale. It is just drop dead stunning with these timber homes and businesses along here. Now I gotta tell you, if you're just walking down the main street, it all just kind of looks like it's storefronts and shops. But as you walk through some of these narrow pathways back into, you can clearly see their residences. And so above these businesses and behind these businesses, people are actually living. But this is a true medieval town. And you can just see in the houses sometimes the exposed beams that have been weathered over time. You can see some of the rocks exposed where the stucco is peeled off. And guys, I recognize that some of it is kind of window dressing or maybe remodel or whatever. I think some of it's probably original, But in any case, it is just absolutely gorgeous. And I gotta tell you, if you're here on a wine tour through this region, you definitely want to stop in this town. This is a place. I can't think of a place we've stopped at where I would recommend more. As you look up every once in a while through the city, you can see up to the hills and you can see all the grapevines. And today we were lucky enough to have a dusting of snow, and so it's just absolutely stunning. But as you come here, you can see where people drive through to deliver stuff, and people drive through to park their cars because they live here. So this is actually not just window dressing. This is a place where people live, and I'm just stunned. But whether you're coming here to see the wine region, if you get the opportunity, and I know it's something that a lot of you may not have the opportunity, but if you can get here in the winter time and see these Christmas villages, I can't wait for tonight. This village is going to be special. It's going to be special in a different way than anything we've seen so far. And so I can't wait to experience, and I certainly can't describe it to you right now before I see it with my own eyes. Hopefully the weather clears up a little bit. It'd be nice if it kind of stayed cold so the snow sticks around, but I think the snow's already turning into rain, which probably means it's gonna melt away. I wanted to get out here this morning and show you guys what we saw this morning. And there's a couple churches here, and there's definitely some stuff here I'm gonna save for when Snow and I come out tonight and when the village gets alive and active. But gosh, this place is just absolutely stunning and a must visit. There are two places I would say so far in France that you absolutely have to visit, and one is Strasbourg and the second is this place right here. Wow.
So it's Friday evening, but this Christmas market is special and only runs 2 weekends during the season. Now tomorrow starts one of those weekends, so we're here a little early, but we're taking a walk. I know Curt already showed you through here today a little bit, but we're headed up to the little grocery store to pick up a few things. Just taking a sneak peek of some of the lights and the setup where they're starting to get ready for tomorrow, for the medieval Christmas market. All right, it is Saturday. We've been waiting on this since we found out this market was only open on Saturday and Sunday. And yesterday we showed you the sneak peek where there were some people in the streets. But today this place is hopping with people that have come to see this beautiful little Christmas village. Now this one has a medieval theme, and we've already spotted a few little added touches that you wouldn't have seen at the other markets. Let's go check this thing out, guys. Oh, and it's snowing.
What is the name of this town?
I call it Ribeauville.
Ribeauville.
I don't know how to say it. We'll put it on the screen and maybe we'll figure out how to say it today.
It's Ribeauville, I think, but it is definitely gonna get medieval up in here, guys.
Yeah, I think they bring tour buses in from Colmar, which is a larger sized tourist city with a lot of hotels and stuff. So I think a lot of these people are coming in on the buses, and
they're pouring in. Let's
there's
go.
a lot of them. Let's go see this thing.
Now, as we've seen in this part of France, in medieval times, there was lots of different kingdoms and fiefdoms and all sorts of villages, and each of them had their own kind of dress, their own kind of foods, their own kind of traditions. And I think as we stroll through this village, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see the dress in the booths that serve the hot wine and the hot chocolates and some of the other things that we saw in some of the other villages. But here, it's definitely gonna have a medieval flair. So I see what's going on here. So they have this giant wheel and they drop the apples in there, and it sort of pulverizes the apples. And then they carry them up over here and dump them in the wooden buckets. And up on top, there's a couple guys there with a big old press, a juice press. And that's where they're juicing, and so you get really fresh apple cider right there out of the press. Quality control. So over here they're making apple cider in different ways. They have these different old mills. It's pretty cool. And you can see all the apples right here that they're putting in these couple contraptions and juicing up. And I think they're going to be roasting a pig right here. So it's a little bit early. Things are just getting cranked up.
The boar's head in hand bear I, bedecked with bays and rosemary. And I pray you, my masters, be merry, quid est sin convivio. Caput apri de ferro, redens laudis domino. The boar's head, as I understand, is the rarest dish in all the land. When thus bedecked with a gay garland, let us servir in cantico. Caput apri de ferro, redens laudis domino. Our steward hath provided this in honor of the King of Blue, which on this day to be served is in reginensi altrio. Caput apri de ferro, redens laudis domino. Caput apri de ferro, redens laudis domino.
And we walked through here yesterday just to kind of get a sense of the place. And it was a bit hazy yesterday. Of course, it snowed in the morning, but it's snowing now, but the haze is cleared and you can see down the road here and up on the mountain is a castle, a fortress, a fort of some sort. And it just looks surreal as a backdrop to all these beautiful buildings. And then I love this Christmas tree they made out of tree bark here. And of course we have all the delicious breads and pastries. It's interesting because Saint Nick is definitely a different character than the Santa Claus we have back in the US. In France, it's definitely a saint. And you can see here's the Den of Blaise. And still another, you can see the flags and the signages there, which represent the different villages. And here they have some kind of soup. And of course they all have like hot wine and hot chocolate and other hot drinks. What do you think, Snow?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite village, and I told Curt earlier, I don't know if it's because it's snowing or because it's got the medieval theme, but it's my favorite.
I got a big old dog.
It looks tasty.
I thought I was getting in line for pork. It's so crazy up there. I got what they had.
Is it good?
Well, it's good, and I'm hungry. Well, we're even eating medieval style. We got a big old sandwich, and we're just splitting it and sharing it, eating it right out here in the middle of the village.
It's so good.
It's also warm in our hands and our bellies.
Yeah. One more bite for me.
So this is the musician, so you can see he has all sorts of different pipes, drums, tambourines, and different types of musical instruments.
Le kalimba.
All the other markets that we've been to have had the big fancy carnival rides that they just decorated up with Christmas stuff. This one's a little different. Ha. What a really, really cool vibe they've got going on in this town for this Christmas market. Alright, so we found a leather booth, but it's not your typical purses and wallets. We've got wrist wraps, I don't know the official name, sword holders, really cool hats hanging over our head, the giant corset belt things, and masks. Really cool belts. Look at that tall hat up top.
J'avais déjà oublié le pendentif.
I can tell y'all it is a sea of people, and it is very easy to lose Curt. Okay, we've done it again for about the 10th time today already. There he is. So what we're learning is there's one main street that runs up and down the middle of this town. So you walk up, you turn around and walk back out. But there are little side alleys that all seem to have a different kind of theme.
Their own little kingdoms and fiefdoms set up.
Yeah. It'd be cool if later they had a war. A fake one, of course.
I think they're going to.
Oh, they might. They might. Throughout the village, you'll just stumble up on either bonfire type things or these big trees that they've just put in places and lit on fire from the inside, and they're wonderful hand warming stations. And when we're vlogging, we have to take off our gloves. So you may see me stop at more than one of these.
And you can smell the burning wood everywhere you walk. And some of it's from the hand warmers, and some of it's just from cooking the food. There's a lot of food being cooked on fires, chestnuts roasting, and all sorts of other stuff. So really kind of a full sensory
Overload.
experience, yeah, with the smells of the food and the drinks.
Vive le roi! Venez goûter le jus de pomme des rois mages, des épices venues de l'Orient, du rhum pour les plus audacieux. Venez vous réchauffer l'âme et le corps grâce à ce breuvage délicieux. J'ai entendu le mot.
Ah, le rhum. Alors on a le célèbre rhum pom-pom. Et le rhum pom-pom.
Ah voilà, monsieur a eu le courage de venir goûter le breuvage. Voilà. Venez goûter le jus de pomme des rois mages.
We've stopped for a little mini break for me to rest. And there are tons of people here. And we think something pretty bad for this little town has happened. We think the power's out.
Oh, we know the power's out.
Yeah, the power's out. Throughout most of the town, at least all that we can see. I was watching a little booth when the lights went out, so I know there was an on and off moment. The music stopped. We really hope they can get it going back soon, not just for us to be able to enjoy everything, but I think this little town probably depends a lot on the tourism that comes in today and tomorrow. And the restaurants, well, they can't serve food right now. Some of the places that are cooking over fire, they're still doing a little bit of business, but no credit cards.
And this place is packed, shoulder to shoulder, all up and down this one walkway. I mean, it is a sardine can.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Still my favorite village, but I am cheering for whoever's working behind the scenes right now, trying to get these lights to come back on. But it's like they blew the whole town. What? Okay. Pardon. So, we're having 2 little tiny glasses of wine and some escargot. We are in France. Let's see how this turns out.
We're in wine country. Little Riesling.
Like.
Peel.
Thank you.
Oh, there they are, guys. All right, Kurt's going in.
Oh, they're little tiny stamps.
Am I gonna like them?
I love escargot. And what you gotta do is take a little bread, like this, and you take the juice inside of it. Look at that. And you put it right there on the bread. That's the secret sauce right here. So good.
Oh, vous pouvez le laisser dehors si vous voulez que je vous débarque, c'est beau. Je vais juste le verre là.
Oh, you don't dump the butter out. You gotta dump it on the bread.
You can dip it in the plate. I did a faux pas. I dumped out the special sauce.
She doesn't know about escargot.
I don't. I think I've had it once before. I'm gonna try again. I do like Curt said. Alright. Finger looking good. Alright, so we ordered a cup of pork. A cup of pork to go with our escargot. They gave Curt a little gift of some sort of maybe schnapps or rum or. You said slowly.
Thank you.
All right, that pork looks delicious. to give it a try while I got the camera out. I think we have found the party side street.
You can't have any pudding if you don't eat the meat.
English. Kurt's trying to chime in on the party. Oh, what a fantastic Christmas village. Kurt, I think you get one and get up there and challenge her to a fight. Good news, guys. The lights and the music are back on. What are you doing here, Kurt?
Well, I'm thinking about getting some of these potatoes. They look pretty tasty.
He's been wanting potatoes for a week. Potato cakes. This is the happiest little side street for sure.
Yeah.
Earlier I called it the party side street, and I think I'm on to something.
All right, here we go. Thank you.
Think about us.
Thank you. All right, I got a hot chocolate, and it comes with the souvenir cup that says the name of the village on the cup. I have a question. How do you say the name of this town? Ribeauville?
Ribeauvillé.
Ribeauvillé.
There is an accent.
Ribeauvillé. All right, we learned from the nice lady. It is pronounced Ribeauvillé. Gotta put the accent on the end. For almost 5 years in a van.
C'est quoi votre truc?
Good morning. We slap wore ourselves out yesterday touring around what is 100% my favorite Christmas village of all that we've gone to this week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Was it your favorite, Curt?
I loved it. It snowed, which was beautiful, and the medieval theme was awesome. It made it interactive. We're here among all these grape fields, and so it was just stunning.
Yeah, it's a beautiful village. Everyone was kind. It was crowded like crazy, and I didn't even mind. That's how amazing it was. But I hope you've enjoyed spending some Christmas market time with us coming up on this holiday season. I hope we've helped spread some Christmas cheer in your house. We are rolling right up on the actual Christmas day. We do have one more very small, very beautiful village we're going to take you to, and that should come out right at Christmas time. It's supposed to be the most beautiful village of all, Curt.
We'll see.
I don't know how they do that, but with that, we're going to wind down this special video release right here, and see you, I guess, maybe tomorrow. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys.